Hello everyone and welcome to Retro Brick Reviews, where today I'll be giving you step-by-step instructions on how to build an alternative build that I've previously shown off on this channel. The build was a combined rebuild of two different sets, those being the LEGO Nexo Knights Knighton Battle Blaster and the Murlocs Library 2.0. This is a build that I call the Knighton Assault Tank. And if you want to check out my full review of it, then you can check it out in my LEGO Alternative Builds playlist. And to start off here, we'll start with what to do with the figures. First is Lance, keep all his armor but no weapons. Then you have Ava, who is just completely standard, no accessories. Railguard, keep his helmet but no armor or accessories. Then the two enemies, it doesn't really matter which helmet or armor they have, but this guy comes with a shield, well, a sword as well as a shield made out of this 2x3 piece and this axe piece. And then this guy comes with a little spiked weapon that's just a lightsaber hilt and a barb. And moving away from that, we can start with the actual build itself. Starting off, we have a 2x6 plate, attaching to two of these light gray 2x6 curved pieces, and this 4x8 plate. Then going back here, we can grab a couple of these trans neon orange grate pieces, a 2x4, two 1x1s, a couple of jumper plates, a couple of 2x6 plates, and a 1x4 up at the front. Then here we'll attach a 2x2 plate. And then up here we'll put on a couple of double cheese slopes. Then here we will attach a 1x2, and then take a 1x6 tile and attach onto it a couple of offset jumper plates and stick that on here. And for a little sub-assembly, we'll take this sort of hollowed out 4x4, and on three sides we'll have these inward facing panel pieces, and then on the back we'll put on two of these modified 1x2s with a couple of slopes, as well as an inward facing cheese slope. That can just attach onto here, and now we have this sort of start for the core of the model. So now let's move on to the next section. Next, moving on to the next part of the sort of base of the model, we'll start with this 2x3, and then a 1x2, and this Technic brick with a hole in it. Then onto here we'll attach on two 3x3s, this 2x6, a grate 1x8, a couple of tooth pieces. Then we put on this modified 1x2 with a couple studs. This handheld gaming device represents a control panel. Then we can put on a couple of these modified 1x2s with a bar, then a 2x2 jumper, a clip, and a handlebars piece. Yeah. To connect the first two parts together, all you do is you attach the exposed tiles here, and you put them together as such. Pretty simple, but functional. We'll set this off to the side for a moment. Now let's get on to the next section of the build. Moving on to the back of the craft, we'll start with this 4x4 plate. On the front, we'll attach on three 2x2 tiles, and then we'll use those to attach on some 4x4 wedge plates. Turning this upside down, we'll attach on this bracket piece and a 2x2 jumper, Then down here we'll put on this sort of modified 1x2 Technic piece, a 1x1, and then this Technic brick. Then up here we'll attach on a 1x6, a 1x4, and a 2x4. We'll set this off to the side for the moment. Next we'll start off with the beginning of the side walls. So we will start out with this gray 1x10. Then we will attach on top of that this blue 1x10. Then we'll take a 1x4 and a trans orange stud. Then we'll put on a 1x4 brick and this disc shooting 1x4. Then we'll put on a stud. Actually, we'll turn this way. And a clip. Then a sort of 1x2 textured brick and a jumper. Then a 1x6. We'll put in a disc that can be shot off. And then we'll attach onto here a couple of 3x3 wedge plates. Do the same thing on the other side, except replace the two 3x3s with one 3x6. And then on this side, onto this clip, we'll attach a spear. And then on the other side, you can attach a broadsword. Then you'll take these pieces and attach these, the backs of these plates onto these wedge plates as such. And then you can take this model, and if things decide not to break, then we can attach the jumper pieces. This can fold in a little. We'll attach the jumpers. If this will feel like working, which of course it won't because I'm recording, so of course this is going to make itself a nuisance. Okay, there, you attach it like that, and then you can attach the exposed studs onto here, up at the front, if it feels like attaching. Okay, so if it will just click in, and then that breaks, because of course it does. Yeah, this is a bit of a difficult assembly, but yeah, eventually it'll look like this, and you have your basic base for the model. When you get it all locked together, it actually is pretty sturdy. Yeah. So we'll set this off to the side for the moment. Yeah. Next, we'll start off with some of the front armor plating. We'll take this modified half slope 1x2 and a clip 1x1. Then two of these 1x2 sloped bricks, a stud. Underneath of that, we'll put in another stud, both of them in trans orange if you couldn't tell. Then a cone and a clip piece. Then here we'll put another clip facing the back. And another 1x2 sloped piece. Then we'll take this corner plate and have it facing out and back. Then onto here we can attach on a 2x2 sloped brick. And we'll take this stickered 1x1x3 and have that face this side. This is the exterior of the model. Then we'll take this 1x1 Technic brick and this 1x2 sloped brick. Then we're going to have a stud, a 1x2 Technic brick, which at the end of that you have this pyramid piece. Then on this exterior clip, you'll attach a stud shooter and a stud to go in that. Then on top of this, you'll attach a grate, and then you'll duplicate it on the other side, except instead of the grate, you put on a blue jumper. And then to get these pieces to connect on, you sort of have to angle it slightly. It can be a bit difficult, but basically it should end up like sort of like this. So you have the 3 studs there, and then up at the front here you have these 2 studs connecting onto these 2 anti-studs. It's definitely a bit tricky, but it can be done, and I think that it does sort of create the right shape that you would want here. Sort of make the tank seem mildly aerodynamic, but also very buff. Yeah, pretty nice. We'll set all that off to the side, and then starting off on the back wall of the build, we will start with this 1x12 brick. Then we'll attach on this printed 2x2 computer slope. Underneath of that, we'll put on this 1x2 Technic brick. On top of the slope, we'll have this control panel. Then we'll have the pyramid piece, dark blue jumper, and pyramid piece. Then we'll take this modified 1x2 with some studs, this textured 1x2, and a 1x1. And then onto those 2 studs, we'll take this sort of 2x2 modified piece that ends up having the footprint of a 2x3. You can call it whichever, not too sure which you would. Anyway, then you can attach on this side-facing clip this modified 1x2 that ends up having the footprint of 1.5x4. But anyway, then you can take a couple of white barbs, this Toxic Sting Nexo Power, then this crossbow, and a little 1x1 trans orange tile, and you can just attach that onto here. And as I previously mentioned, this is the back wall of the build, so it does just attach onto the back here. As of course something breaks, because why wouldn't it? I'm recording a video, of course it will. So yeah, there is the start of the back wall. So I guess now let's move on to the second half of it. So starting off with the second half of the back wall now, we'll start with this modified 1x2 Technic-y brick, a 1x2 plate, and a dark blue 1x2 jumper. Inside of here, we'll take this sort of 2 wide, well, actually no, just 1 wide bushing piece, then this 4 long Technic axle. Then we'll take these 2 sort of ball shooting pieces. And then before it rolls off the table, we'll also grab the bar. We'll set that off to the side. Did I say bar? I meant ball. Anyway, then we'll make a couple of other side builds to build up the mass. We'll take this 2 high slope, this sort of corner piece, and this antennae. Then we'll do the same design on the other side, just mirrored. Then here we'll take this 2x2 inverse slope, attach it to a 1x6, take on a couple of these 2x4 sort of doubly sloped pieces, then a 1x1. Then on top of here we can put on a couple of corner tiles. Then we can attach these subassemblies like this, and the ball shooter centered out to the back like this. Then it just attaches onto the back like this, and it all just fits together back there. You can turn the ball shooter. It's pretty nice. Yeah. Also, One more quick thing that goes here at the back. Just take this large wheel piece, into that put a stud, and then onto that put a radar dish. Then just stick that onto the 2x2 jumper. So, yeah, now let's move on to the roof of the model. Or more accurately, we'll be starting with the frontmost armor piece for the model. So we'll start with a 1x2 plate, modified 1x2 with 2 clips, another normal 1x2, then a couple of corner plates. Top of that we'll attach on this large sort of wall piece. Then onto there we'll attach on a 1x2 slope and a 1x1 brick with a bar. Same on the other side, as well as a couple of these 1x2 cheese grater pieces in black. Then we'll have that lying down, we'll take this disc shooter piece. We'll just put the disc inside right now. Then a couple of these 1x1 Technic bricks. Connect those together with a couple of cheese grater pieces. You can take a couple of these 1x1 Technic half pins with a stud. Into those, insert a couple of these 6 long rods to create some guns for the model, or maybe electric pylons. No, it's up to you. Then take this stickered Nexo shield piece and put that up at the front to create a nice point. And then up on these uppermost set of studs, put on 2 pyramid pieces, then one of these 1x2s with some bars, and then up at the top have angled this piece here. And the 2 clips at the back just attach to these 2 bars here at the front. And if you want to get this to go all the way down, you'd have to bend this out a little to get it to slip in between those 2 clips there. Pretty simple locking mechanism, but it works all right. Yeah, now let's move on to the next section of this model's main armor plating. Okay, so then for the first of the 2 parts of the roof, you start with this ladder piece, and then we'll build a couple of sub-assemblies to attach to it. Start with a 2x4, then take this sort of, I guess, 4x4 piece, even though it only has 4 studs. Technically, this piece takes up a 4x4 area. But anyway, so attach it going like this, and then also onto the plate put on this sort of 1x2 inverse slope. Then take this 1x2 dark blue slope and this cheese grater piece. Then build a mirrored version of this as well. Then here you can take this black 1x2 clipped piece and a brown and sort of 2x2 upward slope. On the other side, do the same except light gray and dark brown. And then these pieces can just attach onto the ladder as such. They just attach onto the 2 clips here, and then they can sort of, wherever you feel as though they should attach on. I think here is a good spot. And you can just sort of angle them down a little into that area, you know, to get a bit more shape in there. Yeah. Now let's move on to the back section of the roof. The final section of roof is very simple. Start with this 4x8 plate, then take on these 2 modified 1x2s that each has a single clip. Take this modified red 1x2 with 2 clips. Onto the 2 gray clips, attach on this banner, and then underneath here, attach on the Nexo Knight's shield piece. And then this all just clips on as such. Yeah, it's the thing, I guess. Yeah, let me just put this a bit for. Okay, so yeah, that is the Nexo battle tank, but there are a couple of side builds that go with this, or Well, actually, no, that isn't the Nexo Battle Tank. I forgot something rather important. The wheels. Basically, there are 2 sets of axles. Each one is one of these bars, sort of a 4-long lightsaber blade in neon orange. And then each wheel is a gray cylinder and one of these printed disc shooter pieces. Put that through the axle, and then put another wheel assembly on the other side. There are 2 of these wheel assemblies, of course. It's a 4-wheeled vehicle. Yeah, now the tank is completed. So now let's move on to one of the side builds. So our first of the 2 side builds we have here, or well, 2 main side builds anyway, is a little jet. And we'll start with this piece here. Attach on a 1x2 and a double cheese slope. Then put on this 2x4 piece with 2 pins. Then we'll put on this brown 1x2, a couple of black modified 1x1s. Then we'll put on this 2x4. Then we will have a little 2x2 here, or well, wait, no, blah. The 2x2 goes here, then we'll have this piece. Then these 2 modified 1x2s in gray. This 1x2 with a bar. And this windscreen piece. On here at the back, we'll attach on this sort of panel piece, and we can fold that down if you like. And then for the wings of the jet, we'll take a 1x1 plate, an inverse 1x2 slope, a 3 tall slope, a little Technic 1x1 brick, a telescope, and one of those lightsaber bars. Build 2 of those wings, and then you can just attach each one onto one of these black open studs, and then you have this jet. And if you want to dock it in the vehicle, then you can just fold open the vehicle's top as such, and this 2x2 hole here is just where you slip in the jet. Yeah. And you can just close the tank back up, and boom. Actually, one of the wheels fell off, so I guess it was actually a bit of a boom. So yeah, so that is everything that can possibly be included in the tank, but there are a couple of other side builds that go outside of it, so let's look at those. So we'll be starting off with this armor stand. By the way, fun drinking game. Restart this video, take a shot every time I say, and we'll be starting with. Take a shot of milk, mind you. I don't promote drinking alcohol. But anyway, so start off with this sort of 2x4 wedgie plate. Take a 2x2, 1x4 corner plate, modified 1x2 brick, cone, ice cream cone, Nexo shield, armor piece, turn that around. On the back, add a couple of clips and some bat wings to create some sort of ice dragony armor. So yeah, that's the stand. Last build, just take your evil book, put it in the treasure chest, bam, and it is complete. Toss some minifigs in there. Yeah, boom. Build. Finally did instructions for that. I can mark that off my list of things that I desperately need to make videos on. So yeah. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I will see all of you in the next one, I guess. Farewell.